The truth about me is that I just absolutely despise and disdain most people. Because whether you hate me or love me, you can't deny the fact that most people have grown up throughout their childhood, and especially, and even more so, teenagehood, getting pretty much whatever it is they want or desire by simply asking for it, whether for their birthday or for Christmas. Probably the really only two main specific certain times when people get just crazy, insane, spoiled, rotten. Most people, especially in America. In Canada, in, the UK, in Australia. I mean, I would pretty much say most countries, to put it simple. And it just tears me up on the inside and just creates this war, raging war on the inside of me, just this turmoil. And of course it's because I've been truly and greatly deprived myself in my life, as you all know. And I've been very underprivileged compared to most people. And when I see most people, how spoiled they are, or how spoiled rotten they are, and how privileged they are compared to me, it fills me with nothing but an extreme, severe amount of rage, hatred, anger, bitterness, hostility, jealousy, and envy towards most people who have grown up throughout their childhood having whatever gaming console it is that has ever been released, whatever video games are out there that have been released in the 2000s, especially like mid to late 2000s and early 2010s, mid 2010s, late 2010s, and like most kids grow up so happy, just pretty much eating off of a silver platter, having a silver spoon in their mouth, no matter their race or skin color. It's just most people in general. And it just ruins me. It just destroys me to the point beyond repair. And you know, the thing is, usually, like, you can fix something, like a car or a truck or a van or something materialistic. There's always a way to fix. But with a human being, a person, we are so much more complex and complicated and unique in every way. We're something that's living. And human beings, if you think about it, each and every single one of us on this planet is sensitive in our own particular way. Whether we are sensitive where we cry a lot, or sensitive as a person who gets angry and lashes out a lot. I have both, to be honest. And I spend most of my time, which is really, of course, sad and pathetic, and of course it's what pretty much any and every low life would do. But I am, and I will admit it, so I don't need anyone to admit it for me. I'll spend hours on end constantly lashing out at and attacking strangers on the internet, in the comment section and whatnot, complaining about all that I have been deprived of and underprivileged of having, especially because I will sometimes, not that much anymore, but I used to do it a lot when I was like 18 in 2015 and 19 in 2016, where I would purposely watch YouTube videos of video games, of gaming desktops, of gaming laptops, and it only helped my emotions of jealousy and envy to grow and become more colossal than they already were for the past 5-6 years. And the most tragic thing about me and my life is there are so many people I'm jealous of and that I truly envy. Most people, of course, like I said before. And of course, the only person who it really hurts, though, is myself. Because my goal is to try to hurt other people, not physically, even though I wouldn't mind to, and I mean like fighting, because I've actually never got into a fight with anyone other than my siblings, physical fight, like my brothers. But I've never gone into a physical fight with anyone else. But I want to hurt people emotionally and mentally who have had way more than I ever did, who have been completely and utterly privileged growing up either as a kid or a teenager. And you know what the funny, well, what's kind of funny is, like, most kids will grow up throughout their childhood getting gaming consoles and video games, like starting from about age, I'm gonna guess probably 10 at the youngest, maybe even 6, maybe 5 even at the youngest, probably 5, honestly, probably 5. And they get it, of course, whatever gaming console is out when they're 5 years old, whatever video games are out at that time. But they keep getting, of course, like pretty much every gaming console that's ever been released in every video game throughout their childhood from like the age of 5. And by the time they're like about 15, 16 years old, which is usually the age that most people are able to get jobs at, they want to be a part of society and a part of the system. And hell, obviously I would be too. I would be a very loving, kind, sweet, good-hearted, compassionate person and helpful if I too would have been spoiled rotten growing up in my childhood, or at least my teens. Like at the age of like 13, 14. And by the time most people hit the age of 15, 16, they want to get a job to do. Obviously, the most obvious thing, to spoil themselves even all the more. Because they get pretty much every gaming console that has ever been out throughout their childhood and video game. So what better way than to spoil yourself even more when you're about 15, 16 years of age. And usually most kids will only get like at the most gaming consoles and video games in their childhood or throughout their childhood. But then when they hit the age of about 15, 16 and of course get their own job because they want to, they save up and buy something even better, like, oh, I don't know, a gaming laptop or a gaming desktop. And then they just get a shit ton of video games on either one of those things off of probably the most obvious website and overrated Steam. And like, I'm one of those people who is just broken beyond repair. I've been hurt so much by the people of society, and really society as a whole. And even if I ever do become famous, if I'm lucky enough, I will still be filled with the same emotions, because I'll still think about all the time, well, maybe not all the time if I have other things to do and other things on my mind, but I'll still think about it sometimes at least, all the people who had everything I wanted in their childhood or teenagehood. Or in other words, I'll think about people who had things way younger and way before I ever did. And that's the truth about me.